The 40 Rules of Love, a soulful tale of transformation. Written in the language of the heart, inspired by the novel by Elif Shafak. In the quiet corners of an ordinary life lived in quiet routine, a woman named Ella Rubinstein found herself on the edge of change. She was 40, a housewife from Massachusetts, living what many would call a secure life, a husband, 3 children, a home. But her soul had grown still, the kind of stillness that doesn't mean peace, but quiet resignation. Everything changed the day she was assigned to read a manuscript called Sweet Blasphemy. It was the work of a mysterious writer named Aziz Zahara, and from the very first page, something in her stirred, something ancient, forgotten. The manuscript told a story that reached across centuries. It was the tale of Jalaluddin Rumi, the revered 13th century scholar, and the man who would change his life forever, a wandering dervish named Shams of Tabriz. Are you ready to be unmade? In the bustling heart of Konya, Rumi was already a master of law, respected, adored, and firmly planted in the soil of structure and certainty. But even as crowds gathered to hear his sermons, his soul ached for something deeper, a love not written in scripture, but felt in the marrow of being. And then Shams arrived. He wasn't a man of appearances. He walked with wind and fire, and his eyes held galaxies. He asked no favors, sought no disciples. What he brought was far more dangerous. Truth, the kind that burns illusions and peels back masks. Are you ready to be unmade? He asked Rumi without ceremony. In that moment, something shifted. Not in the sky, not in the streets, but within Rumi's soul, as if a door had opened into a room he never knew he had. The first rule, how we see God, is a direct reflection of how we see ourselves. If God brings to mind mostly fear and blame, it means there is too much fear and blame in us. If we see love, compassion, and grace, so it is in us. With each conversation, Shams taught, not with rigid dogma, but with parables, presence, and paradox. He taught Rumi to look not outward, but inward, to seek not certainty, but stillness, to know not through books, but through love. They walked under moonlight, they sat in silence, and slowly Rumi was reborn, not as a scholar, but as a seeker. What is the soul? Rumi once asked. Shams replied, the soul is a guest in this world. Feed it with beauty, honesty, and presence. Anything else only fattens the ego. The rule of the fire. Intellect ties people in knots and risks nothing, but love dissolves all tangles and risks everything. Rumi, once the voice of divine law, began to speak in poetry. Not of rules, but of yearning, of beloved seen, in every tree, every tear, every turning of the earth. And the people whispered, he has gone mad. But it was not madness. It was holy surrender, the kind that births mystics and burns away masks. Don't seek love outside yourself, said Shams. Love is not a destination. It is a light that awakens within. Your task is only to clear the darkness that hides it. The rule of suffering. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Let life live through you. Every wound comes with a message. The wound is where the light enters. The bond between Rumi and Shams grew into a flame too bright for many to bear. Envy twisted around them. Sons grew restless. Disciples turned cold. And then, one night, Shams disappeared. Some say he was murdered. Some say he vanished into the mystic wind. But Rumi was never the same. The whirling begins, grief did not destroy him. It opened him, like a wound, like a poem. He began to whirl, not in mourning but in divine remembrance. Each turn became a prayer, each movement a meditation. He whirled not around himself, but around love, around the presence of the divine in everything. He became not just a poet, he became a mirror of love. But the final rule, a life without love is of no account. Don't ask yourself what kind of love you should seek, spiritual or material, divine or mundane. Seek love, just love. Your soul will lead the way. Back to Ella As. Ella read the manuscript. Something inside her cracked open. She began to question her marriage, her faith, her life. Not with bitterness, but with courage. She reached out to Aziz Zahara. Words turned into letters. Letters turned into confessions. And soon she was no longer reading the story. She was living it. The 40 rules of love are not just Rumi's. They belong to every soul that chooses love over fear, presence over habit, truth over approval. They are not just to be read, they are to be remembered, lived, embraced. Because the path of love is not a line. It is a spiral. It takes you deeper into the self and out beyond the stars. You are the story. Now, so if you are reading this, wondering if it is too late or if you are too lost, let these words be your reminder. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not behind. You are on the path. You are not unloved. You are love. Seek love, just love. Your soul will lead the way.